Hi guys, on to round 3 of Season 10, and we've just finished playing Turtles from Konami in 1981. Whilst at first glance, some might have thought this was the mid-80s beat-em-up, it is in fact a maze game, following the popularity of Pac-Man. We had a few folks enjoying this one, but for the most part, myself included, I found it annoying and tedious. You control a turtle, and you collect baby turtles from the mystery boxes before depositing them in the home symbols that appear in the corners of the screen. Trying to stop you doing this are a series of beetles that gradually become more aggressive as each screen goes on. The game is far from easy, but not that fun either. This spells for a combination that leaves little interest in continuing playing for most people. The game did see some home ports, but mostly for obscure systems. There was a Magnavox Odyssey 2 port, and then ones for the Arcadia 2001, Entech's Adventure Vision, and the Casio PV1000. So a game from the golden age, but for me, one I won't be returning to. Let's take a look at the scores. We had 12 score submissions, which is everyone within our core group, with the return of Man Cave Arcade, who's finished in 11th, ahead of Paul, who really didn't like this one. Last time's 2nd and 3rd place finishers are down in 10th and 9th, which is Blue Yak and Juff. Robert is 8th, followed by Retro Arcade Challenge and Bob. I'm in 5th, having put one play session in and picked up some tips from Colin's livestream. Milthy is in 4th again, with a good effort. He enjoyed this one and improved multiple times. My Retro Tech did well for 3rd, especially as I don't think he liked it either. Our top 2 though were the class of the field, way ahead of everyone else. Both led at different points, but ultimately it's Colin taking the win, dropping his winning score in the closing hours of the competition. So it's Graham in 2nd, and Colin taking his first win, I believe since Xerion. It's a very well done to both of those guys. Here is the score distribution, and we can see the majority of people grouped together in the middle, in just 2 bins. Beyond that group though, we can see an empty bin, and then our top 2 grouped together, showing how dominant our top 2 were, but there was nothing separating them in the end. Now the difficulty curve. The scoring in this game is pretty linear, so unsurprisingly, we see a pretty linear increase. That is until we reach our top 2, where the curve climbs steeply. This is much more of an effect of our top 2 enjoying the game more and putting more time in than everyone else, rather than it getting easier, which we have seen for some games. Finally, our progress over the 2 weeks. At the top, we can see that Colin was always the one to beat, putting strong early scores in and continuing to improve. Graham improved from a lower base than Colin, getting ahead with a day to go, but Colin came back on the final day to take the win. Elsewhere, we can see many flat lines, corresponding to a single score submission. This was a one and done for many people, myself included. A notable exception was Milthy, who did seem to enjoy this game, and you can see his many stabs and gradual improvement. So now that we're 2 games down, we can see how the league table is doing. Myself and Robert have got ahead of Paul, and then we have 4 people dropping down the table, following the great results from Colin and my Retro Tech. Colin is up 6 places into 2nd, Milthy is up into 3rd with back-to-back 4th places, and my Retro Tech slots into 4th. At the top, it's the only person to put in consistent performances in our opening 2 games, and that's Graham. The win on Smash TV, and now a 2nd place for Turtles, leaves him top of the table with a healthy margin. Let's now see what the 3rd game of the season will be. Following Turtles, it will be a game beginning with the letter U. Unsurprisingly, not the most common of letters, but there are some reasonable choices in the set. My choice of Yu Poco has 3 votes. Ian has been desperate to get Uncle Pooh in the competition. That has 2 votes. Up and Down and Uniwar S have a couple of votes too. Uniwar S was both Colin and Graham's choice, so it would have been trebled had either one. So let's set things going and see what we get. Okay, slowing down here. Ooh. Is it okay? So it's gone on to Up and Down. So this is a choice from Retro Arcade Challenge. So I think this is a Sega game, and again, it's an old game. It's a classic arcade game. I know Charlie Farr is very good at this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get hopefully at least a token score from him. So yeah, I'll go make a video and be back in a sec. So our third game of the season is Up and Down, released by Sega in 1983. So another Golden Age game, and one I'm expecting to enjoy more than Turtles, although that isn't difficult. The game scrolls vertically, and you drive along different routes with the ability to speed up or slow down, change lanes, and jump over enemies or gaps. Your aim is to collect 10 flags on each stage before moving on to the next. It's a game I've seen Charlie Farr play, but never played myself. I'm expecting it isn't easy as he makes it look. The game was released on Sega System 1 hardware, which is on the Mister, which is good. We'll be using upndown.zip and default settings as usual. For our next game, please send suggestions beginning with the letter V. There are a few shmups in here, but not a lot that look super exciting to me. I might go for a Nintendo Versus game, such as Versus Balloon Fight. We've already had Volfied and Versus Ice Climber. So I hope you all enjoy playing some Up and Down, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks with the scores. See you then.